who is going to turn down seeing One Year's Stories Far and Neck Deep? Like, that's a mega tour, on your back door, basically. Yeah. 2014 sounds about right. I remember 2014 just generally being a pretty busy year for us and just a lot of stuff happening. Although actually, maybe it was 2013 that we got on because we were voted on to play on like a fan thing for like the locals when they used to do a Wales and a Scotland, maybe even an Ireland one as well. And we got voted onto that as like the local band. And yeah, it was sick. Like that for us was like a nice confirmation, really, because I think we felt as though we deserved to be on the festival proper. Like we had a lot of buzz about us, and we were kind of waiting for that offer, and we didn't get it. So the fact that we managed to muscle our way on and ended up playing a good show. And again, like I remember Asteroid Boys were there. It was because it was Cardiff and first time meeting those guys, and I remember they ended up coming on stage and doing a little guesty with us and stuff. And yeah, it was cool. It was cool because I think Wonder Years also played that time, and we didn't know them personally at that time. I'm lucky enough where I get to text Soupy every now and again now, but at the time I was like starstruck by like Wonder Years and stuff like that. So yeah, that was sick. But then the first time we played it proper, again, we were just like kind of kids in a sweet shop, really. Like, I think just all of these bands that we looked up to, all these like, and not only just as like, we get to play with these bands, like a lot of bands I wanted to tick off my list of like just seeing them. I think I might have my years mixed up, but like bands like Transit and Fireworks, like again, and that's what made Slam Dunk cool. Like going back to that first question of like when you grew up and like kind of looked at Slam Dunk for us from afar, it was like no one else is putting Fireworks on, no one else is putting like Transit or Valencia on and stuff like this. So yeah, it was really cool to see some of those like smaller culty pop punk bands like early days. And yeah, like I said, kids in a sweet shop, we were just stoked, and the show for us was a sick time as well, and as it usually is. So yeah, to be honest, we always just sort of like, the show will be good, we know the show will be good, let's just have fun, let's just run around and have a beer and see as many gigs as we can, really. Yeah, for our stage as well, like I think again they nailed it, like in terms of current pop punk, like I think they nailed it. If you mention to any fan of pop punk, like who do you want to see on, like all of those bands would be in there. It's a shame that not everyone can get in on it. I'm sure they would want to, but they did a great job putting that stage together. And in particular, I think with for me, I'm excited to play with Story so far. I think there's always been that weird thing that like fans have kind of made of like, they don't get on this thing, and maybe that might have been the case in the past, but I think both bands have definitely grown up a lot, and I think it'll be cool to be like maybe a future test for how a tour could go. Like that's always a tour that we talk about, and it's just a case of like maybe get Story, if Story want to do it, we want to do it. So this might be a nice little trial run for that. And also Wonder Years. Like Wonder Years are another one of those bands, like I said, like love that band, and I think very important for like our world of pop punk. And who is going to turn down seeing Wonder Years Stories Far and Neck Deep? Like that's a mega tour, on your back door, basically. Yeah, well, we talked about like it being a sort of greatest hits, but without it being a greatest hits, just because we don't think we're at the point now where we need to start milking our greatest hits, but we just know what fans want to hear. I think it's going to be a very crowd pleasing set. I think you've got to do that when you're playing a festival, even if it, especially a headliner. Like you want to leave everyone feeling as though they've heard their favorite song, or that they've heard the songs that they want to hear. Like I think any gig you're always going to walk away and go, they didn't play that particular deep cut or this one that I like or whatever. But generally we're just going to try and cover all the bases, try and play the songs that people want to hear, and just really just soak it all up, because we really have worked our way up through the ranks of Slam Dunk, really. And I think generally, neck deep, we've always had to sort of push back and fight back a little bit. We've always had, I don't not sound dramatic. I don't want it to make it seem boohoo hard done by, because we've been very successful, but we have always had to sort of dig our feet in and really push back. And it feels like this is a reward for like a lot of hard work and a lot of like, and to be fair, Ben Ray has always believed in us. Like, I remember after the last time we played Slam Dunk and broke the record for crowd surfers, I find it hard to believe, but hey, there we go. He said, like, you're going to headline this soon. Like, he knew then and showed a lot of faith in us. And like, I think that's always been cool about Neck Deep. Like, while we have had to fight back and dig in a lot of the time, like, we have had people who get it and who believe in us. And we may have had to prove that over some time, but it feels like a statement of like, we've arrived. Or not even we've arrived. Like, I think we fly the flag for this world and this scene at the minute, and like there's no intentions of us slowing down, and this is almost an indication of like that step up to like band that can headline a festival, and like band that people just really want to see, and has still, after 10 years of being in a band, and like still have a buzz about us, which is, for me, it's weird. I always thought, 10 years in, we'd be like, pretty well established and like, oh, there we go, maybe our time's passed, but it still feels like there's like a little second wind and stuff like headlining festivals. And yeah, that's definitely the thing that does it for you. It puts a bit of wind in your sails and gives you a bit of confidence for sure. And yeah.